Welcome to Bear Archery's Hunting 101 podcast, where hunters new and old come to learn and find inspiration from stories of hunts gone by. Everyone is welcome to enjoy the outdoor way of life, and there is no better time to start than right now. So let's head into the great outdoors with your host, Dylan Ray.
All right, guys, welcome to Bear Archery's Hunting 101. This is what you guys have all been waiting for, the new products of 2021. So we're going to lay out all of the new products coming from Bear Archery, Trophy Ridge, Bear X, Bear Archery Traditional, Sick, everything that Escalade Sports has coming out new this year. We're going to talk over those products. So I am joined by Mr. Chris Parrish and Ryan Schutz from Bear Archery. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing good, real good.
Good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm absolutely wonderful. And, this is the greatest time of the year to be a hunter because, not only is seasons now opened up, but now we get all giddy over new products. So it's absolutely a great time to be a bow hunter. I love this time of year. Always have, always will. I'm a gear guy. I love new gear. I love looking at new stuff, new technology. And so this time of year always gets me incredibly excited. So, let's dive right in, man, and let's talk about these new products coming this year. So let's start with compound bows, my favorite of any new product. Let's start with the Redemption EKO. Tell me a little bit about this bow, Ryan.
So this is the new flagship for the Legend series. So we're pretty excited about this. I'm going to hit some of the really small details on this that I love, but of course there's some bigger details too. So last year we introduced the Eko Cam. So of course we're going to continue that technology on, and we can, make some small tweaks, get better as we go. But we wanted to offer that in a 31-inch axle-to-axle bow, which is what the Redemption is. And the Cam does a great job at holding really good top speed. So it's still a 342 IBO. So we're pretty excited about that. So you still get to adjust your let off, but the big changes to this bow versus maybe like a status that you would compare it to is our all new vibration reduction system. So we call it VRS. And what's so unique to us is it's working with all our different things that we do in our bows currently to reduce vibration, hand shock noise. All of it is what we really focused a lot on this. So we added some systems built into the risers that will help at the top and bottom of the riser to help dampen vibration in the bow. Also, they work in conjunction with our shockwave dampeners that we already have on the limbs, as well as we changed our string stop dampening system a little bit. So we removed the top one and just did a bottom location one, kind of like what we do on like the Divergent EKO. So we're really excited on how all those three components work together on this bow to give you a really good smooth shot with the cams, but then pretty vibration free after the shot, which is also important. Some other fun things that I like on this bow is, so we introduced a new color, an olive color. And we call it olive. It's kind of like an off-green color. I think it'll look really, really good in the woods. The other kind of small thing that we really like and have been pushing hard is trying to get Fred into everything we do, right? So added a small little touch decal on the back of the riser that says the Fred Bear Way. Small thing, but means a lot to us at Bear on this bow. So we're pretty excited about this one.
And that's kind of Bear Archery's new slogan, is the Fred Bear Way. So for years we've heard Walk Among Legends, which is very fitting for Bear Archery, but the new kind of slogan and motto is the Fred Bear Way. So real quick before we move on, because there's still several things I want to talk about on the redemption. What does the Fred Bear Way mean to you and to the company?
I'd say to us, it really means we're big on Fred wanted archery for everyone. And of course, he was big on the hunting aspect of it, but he was also big on the recreational side, right? And he wanted it to be very accessible. So that's what so means a lot to us is that's why you see us with such a wide range that we're going to go over today on bows that you can get into at a very introductory price point, but then you also see bows in our line that are cutting edge with leading technology in the industry as well. So it's tough to be everything, but we work very, very hard to be able to offer, great value and great things to get you into the sport that then you can elevate up as you decide to be more serious. Fred was really big into that. It's very important to us too that people realize a lot of people see the iconic photos of Fred and they just think recurves. And of course, he loved to hunt with the recurve, right? But Fred did so much for the compound industry. And then there was also some crossbows in his past as well. People don't talk about it very much, but he was
Mhm.
always trying to push archery forward.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I mean, kudos to Bear Archery because you guys do it and you do it well. Um, most people excel in one thing, one area, um, whether it be flagships, whether it be bows for beginners. But you guys seem to excel in every area, which is what I love about Bear Archery. Now, you mentioned the vibration reduction system. What has changed about the Eko Cam from the status?
It's just really what we've tried to do is small tweaks. So you still adjust it the same. It looks pretty much the same, but anytime you're coming up with where we've uh, able to, this is a different axle to axle bow. We've made sure that we make sure this bow works, that these cams work the way they need to for a 31-inch axle to axle bow versus like the status, which was a 33. So we're just not we're not happy with good enough. We want it to be the very best that it can be.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. So a few specs of the bow: 4.1 pounds, 6.25-inch brace height, 31-inch axle to axle. Now, let me just say this. I know this isn't for everyone, but 31-inch axle to axle, 32-inch axle to axle, 6.25 to 6.5. Those are my perfect specs. So this bow is, I believe, going to be an absolute tack driver. Those are. I love seeing those specs on any bow. If you're not familiar with the Eko Cam, it gives you the option to set it at 75, 80, 85, or 90% let off. So you'll still have that option with the redemption, which to me is just a fantastic feature to have. It's more, you can fit the bow to yourself. I don't like having 90%. I know a lot of guys do. It's just too much for me. I relax too much in the back of my shot, and I just don't execute the shot well. But then 75 is maybe a little bit. It's not enough, quite a bit enough of let off. So I really like that 80%, 85% let off option. So again, just a great cam. If you've shot the status, you know that bow is just a flat out shooter. And so I can't wait to see how it's improved in the redemption. Much like Ryan just said, I am incredibly excited about the olive color. The status will still be in the lineup. So if you liked the
Yeah.
status, it's still there.
Well, and I really love what you said when about the EKO cam. That's why we did it. So even though it was new last year, was a lot of you. It's one more way to set it to your personal preference, right? So you like 80, I like 90. Neither's wrong. It's just now you're able to do it within one bow, which is really why we did
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, that's the beautiful thing behind the EKO cam is anybody can shoot it. You can set it up how you like to shoot, and really, you've got 4 different bows in one. 4 different guys can shoot it and have a complete different experience for what they enjoy. Moving on, the Inception. The Inception is a new bow this year. Tell me a little about the Inception.
So it is our hybrid cam. So which is at the 75% let off. So I'll just go over the specs on this. This bow is just a great bow for its price points. So it's 340 speed, 4.3 pounds, 6-inch brace height, 32-inch axle to axle. This is just a straight 75% let off. Very adjustable to it, 25.5 to 30, so can fit a very wide range of shooters, which we're excited about. Also in this one, we haven't had just a straight black option in our black colored option in our line for a while. And so in the Legend series anyway. So now we've got the shadow color back, which looks pretty sharp. And of course, black works well with almost every accessory, just makes that bow match and look a little better. So we've got that. So you can get it in shadow, red bear camo, personally one of my favorites, and real tree, which also looks very sharp. This bow we offer in a bow only, and then also in an RTH package. So if you want all the accessories on it ready to go, and they're pretty high end accessories from Trophy Ridge. So a fixed 5 sight, quick shot whisker biscuit, our 5 arrow quiver, and a static 6-inch stabilizer. So and our the no tie peep that was new last year. So really, really good package for an extremely affordable price as you're moving up from an introductory bow into the mid to high level.
Yeah, and that to me, I feel like if I had to pick one area where I said Bear Archery does it best, I would say that offering that high end bow at that mid level price, like the Inception, like the Approach HC, those bows are just shooters, man. And I've had guys, in a shop before shoot lineups upon lineups of flagship bows, and then they pick up one of those mid level bows, like the Approach HC is the one I'm mentioning here, and they're just blown away by it because it performs just as well as the other top bows for half the price. So that I believe will be a great shooting bow. Haven't got to shoot it yet, but I believe it'll be a great shooting bow. Now, one thing that we are on to next that I believe is just going to shock the world. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. The Whitetail from Bear Archery. Tell me a little bit about the history behind the Whitetail, why you guys brought it back, and what people can expect to see in this bow.
So clearly, the whitetail name on any bear bow means a lot, right? So Fred had the Whitetail Hunter, and then there was the Whitetail 2 that came a few years after that. So kind of going back to what we talked about before with the Fred Bear Way, wanted to tie all that together. So very iconic name. Many of us, it was our first bow or one of the bows that we were able to shoot very early on in our archery career. So usually that name means a little bit, right? What we wanted to do with this particular one was really beef up the technology that we could with this bow, and then also still make it at a very appealing price point. So which is exactly what the Whitetail Legend or the Whitetail was so many years ago. So what we did with this is it's a solo cam, but we made some changes to our normal solo cam design. So we added a draw stop. So one thing on a regular solo cam is, some people like a pretty firm back wall. Some people, like a little movement there. So now we're going to give you the option, which is kind of our big thing in the Legend series. We're just trying to give you more and more options to make each bow fit the way that you want them to fit you. So it has our limb stop now, so you can get that back wall as solid as you want, which is great on a single cam. So you get the smooth draw. Valley feels really, really good on this bow. And then when it's all the way back, I mean, it is as solid as could be. So great tree stand bow, great ground bow or ground blind bow. So specs on this bow is it's 320 feet per second. It's 4.3 pounds. It's 6.75 brace height, so pretty long brace heights, and then just 31 inches axle to axle and 80% let off. Also, this has got a very big draw length, so from 23 to 30. This one's available in just 3 color options as well. So shadow, you're able to get on this as well, which we thought was important to have that all black look on the bow so it matches the accessories really well. Also our new olive color, and then the Bear Camo.
So that's your 4 bows in the Legend series. The Legend series is offered at dealers only. So if you wanted to check out one of those bows, head into a Bear Archery dealer. The Redemption EKO, Status EKO, which is last year's flagship, will stay in the lineup. The Inception and the Whitetail Legend, all part of the Legend series this year. Now moving on to our other compounds, the Divergent EKO stays in the lineup, which again, just a flat out shooter. I've got friends that shoot that bow, and they are just blown away by the performance of that bow. The Revival stays in the lineup, which is our target bow. And then we've got the Paradox stays in the lineup. The Prowess, and then the new. What do we got new here? The Legit. The Legit is something that I am excited about. This is what my wife will be shooting. And let me tell you why. Before you go over the specs, a lot of entry level bows that fit everyone, those bows that have 14 to 30 inch draw weights, 14 to 30 inch draw lengths, 10 to 70 pound draw weights, those fit all entry level bows. A lot of times they look like junk. You know what I mean? They just look like a toy. They look like a play bow. And this bow looks incredible. It's got the aesthetics. It's got the looks of a high dollar bow, but yet my kids can shoot it. My wife can shoot it. I can shoot it. Everybody can shoot it. So I'm excited about the new Legit. Now, tell me a little bit about the Legit.
So Legit's awesome. So this is, I'm the product manager for the bows, and it's fun to work on all of them. This was one of actually probably my more enjoyable ones to work on. Of course, the high-end bows are always fun, but this bow was so many years in the making. So one thing you're going to notice when you're able to look at this bow is that its riser looks very similar to a divergent riser, and the divergent riser looks very similar to a paradox riser. So there has been multiple years in the making to get this to work the way it is at these different price points. So it's not just 1 or 2 years worth of work on here. There's been multiple years. So it's so exciting for us to see this come to market. So it starts with great riser design in our opinion. So to your point, it is not a toy. It doesn't look like a toy in any means. So um, it is a very serious hunting bow, and it looks like a very serious hunting bow. Um, and we were excited that we were able to do that without making it too heavy in the mass weight department. Sometimes that's where you can go too far and make them too heavy, and then it doesn't balance well for whoever the shooter may be, since there is so much adjustment in it. So it's only weighing 3.6 pounds, and it has 315 IBO speed, which we're very excited about, but it has a very wide range, right? So 14 inches to 30-inch draw length, 10 to 70 pounds of draw weight. So really can fit everybody. I mean, to the point of when we were designing this bow, small personal story, and working on the mass weight, had my 9-year-old daughter holding this and shooting it at very low draw length and weight, just to make sure it still fit and worked well with that mass weight. And obviously it worked out really well. So, and then of course, a full grown man, this is one of my favorite bows that we have in the line right now. So I very much enjoy shooting this bow because it just fits so many people. Other exciting things to bring up on this is, it's a dual cam bow, so large adjustment, but we worked quite a bit on this to improve the draw, improve the draw curve, and I don't know if improve's the right way. We wanted the draw curve to be one of the best, if not the best, on the market for a dual cam. And we definitely think we've achieved that. It feels so smooth. Even I'm a shorter draw, like a 26, 27, depending on which release and things that I'm going to use. But then even at 29 and 30, it still draws so smooth. So it was really important to us that you would have that smooth draw no matter where you had it set. And it definitely achieves that.
Now, one thing to mention, and we're about to introduce to you an industry first. Never been done before. This legit, as well as the Species and the Royale, are available in ready to hunt extra packages. So Trophy Ridge this year, and we'll go over all the new accessories from Trophy Ridge, but Trophy Ridge this year has done what no other accessory company has ever done, and they have become a one-stop shop for all of your accessory needs. So the Ready to Hunt Extra package will come with your Trophy Ridge 4-pin sight, your Trophy Ridge Whisker Biscuit, your Trophy Ridge 5-arrow quiver, as well as a stabilizer and a sling. But now it'll also come with a Trophy Ridge release, Trophy Ridge arrows, and 3 rocket broadheads. Now, tell me a little bit about, because, and we'll dive into the arrows and the release later on, but those are new products from Trophy Ridge. Tell me a little bit about the arrows and about the release.
So sure, and I'll just give a little background on why we decided to do this and how we're able to do it, because the look of this is very important. So when you're starting to shop your local pro shop and in dealer or wherever you buy your archery equipment and they carry this, you're going to be able to notice that we made the package very compact and it'll all be together. So the way that this bow ships is all the arrows are already in the quiver. They already have inserts. They're pre-cut and they have field points in them. And then the release, and then the um, the the broadheads, which are the rocket siphons, are also all in the package. So literally, you can just buy this one item and be able to shoot as soon as you get home. So barring the bow is adjusted to you and everything like that, right? So we wanted to make it as easy as you could. This goes back to Fred Bear, right? How do we make it easier for you to get into archery? So we figured what we would do is get it so if you don't know anything at all about archery, in these 3 particular bows, the Royale, the Legit, and the Species, we would offer this package so at least you get something that should be very shootable and actually paired to it pretty well, so you have a great archery experience, which is our goal. So with that, a little bit more details. What we did on the arrows, so like on the Legit and the Species, they come with arrows that would be overspined, right? So that way it is going to work no matter what, possibly overspined. So they're 340 arrows, so they work no matter where the bow is set up. So if you wanted to, use a much shorter arrow or a lighter arrow, of course you could do that, but these would also still work even if you were at a longer draw and heavier weight. They're pre-cut at 29 inches. The inserts are in them, plus with the field points. We also give you 5 extra inserts, so that way, let's just say you are going to use this, maybe like you had mentioned, you're a wife or maybe someone new getting into archery, a child that's got a much shorter draw, like 20 or 24. Then you could still have your pro shop cut those arrows, and then the inserts are there that you could put new inserts in, so you wouldn't be out anything. So we wanted to make sure that that was easy for everybody. We're excited about the release. This is a Trophy Ridge Archer X release, extremely adjustable. So you're going to see the theme of all this is that we're trying to give you all the adjustment that you can so it fits a wide range of users. Big goal there. And then, of course, we added the broadheads. If you end up, wanting to hunt, or obviously if you're thinking about this type of bow, you probably are looking into hunting. So they'd be great broadheads to get you started. Worth mentioning, when we do this RTH extra package on the Royale, it's definitely more geared towards youth. So it gets our youth release, and then it also gets arrows that are spine and cut a little bit shorter. At 27 is their max, which fits that bow better, and then the spine's 400 spine. So again, trying to give you that quality experience right out of the box.
Yeah, and it's one thing. It's one thing that's always rough about archery. You're trying to get somebody involved in archery, and you tell them, well, for $500 you can buy a ready to hunt kit, and then they don't anticipate still having to buy a release, broadheads, arrows, and it's just extra cost. And this is just like you said, one package where you can tell them this is the price, and now you can go bow hunting. And so it's exciting for me. Before we jump into Trophy Ridge, let's just cover all the bows first. So let's move on to crossbows, because Bear X is going to be putting out some new crossbows, and which I'm really excited about. They look fantastic. The specs on them are great, and I'm fired up about these crossbows. So, Chris, run me through the new crossbows that we can expect to see this year.
All right. So we've got really two brand new crossbows, and they're the Impact and the Impact Cdxv. And the Impact is our top shelf, our highest end crossbow. It's the fastest crossbow we've produced. It's the narrowest crossbow we've produced. Just throwing over some specs, it's 8.5 inch wide cocked, and it is 12 1/16 uncocked. It's a very short. Without the Impact comes with a silent crank. So this silent crank, it makes no noise when you crank. You can let go of it. It'll stop at any point. It will also allow you to decock the crossbow, which is a great feature to have. So in case you get done hunting, you take your bolt out, you lock it in there, and release your trigger, and you can uncrank the crossbow without having to shoot it, which is a great feature. It's only 27 inches from front to back without the silent cock, and with the silent cock attached, it's 29 inches. It's super well balanced. The crossbow, most crossbows are kind of cumbersome, if you will. This bow is everything but cumbersome. It features a illuminated scope, like our Constrictor does. Has the top adjustable quiver where it's out of your way. It's ambidextrous. You can put it on either side depending on which side you choose. The Impact comes in 2 camo finishes with the grip and the limbs. It's True Timber Strata and Vale Stoke, and blistering speeds up to 420 feet per second. We all know, speeds of a crossbow sometimes can be controversial. That all has to do with the arrow weight, and with the arrows we have with it, it shoots speeds up to 420 feet per second. It's just an incredible little system. Another couple of neat features is, if you look up underneath the stock, you'll see a place where you have your rail lube, and which is handy for you. And you also have a feature where you have a pull-out, kind of a rest, if you will. You can use it as a rest instead of having your foot tang. And then it's got a detent pin, and you can fold it back in. So you can get it out of your way, or you can use it like if you're shooting out of a wood blind or off of sticks or whatever. You can use that as part of your rest. Just a really unique crossbow that has a bunch of features to it that I think is going to really set a good pace for Bear X.
Yeah, Chris, it's kind of like a built-in bipod in the front. It's really cool.
The crank is something that I'm really excited about. That's the first time this has been offered on a Bear X crossbow. Am I correct?
That is correct.
And for a lot of guys, a lot of guys are shooting a crossbow because their shoulders or their age won't allow them to pull a compound. So a lot of times letting down a compound or pulling back a crossbow is just as hard. And then, of course, you got to discharge it and shoot it every time you're done hunting if you don't shoot an animal. And so I think the crank is a fantastic feature that I think a lot of people will be excited about. again, just a lot of features built into this crossbow that I believe are just going to be great features to have, and that I'm excited to see Bear X offer. Um,
I'd have one more thing to add there, Dylan, is I think the impact is definitely worth going to any dealer or any place that ends up selling it to shoot. The balance just cannot be overstated on how great this bow feels. Some bows tend to feel a little bit kind of top heavy or front heavy, almost like a firearm. This does not feel like that at all. It balances so well. It's just a joy to shoot.
Very much so.
Yeah, I can't wait to shoot it. I really can't wait to shoot it. My dad has a Barracks crossbow, and he's been very pleased with it. And I've shot his, but I can't wait to get my hands on one of the new ones, and I can't wait to get one of the new ones in his hands, because he, like I said, he can't pull a compound back anymore. So this is how he bow hunts now. So I'm excited to get it in his hands. What all crossbows are staying in the lineup?
The Constrictor CD, CDX, the Intense, and the Intense CD are staying in the lineup.
Awesome. Awesome bows. I've got a friend who shoots the Constrictor and loves it. So again, just great bows, great crossbows from Bear X, and I believe that these new crossbows will really launch Bear X into the next level of crossbows. So I'm excited about this release. Is there anything else we need to hit on crossbows?
Well, the Impact Cdxv is virtually the same bow minus a few things. It only has camo limbs, comes in the same features as Camo, the True Timber Strat and Bale Stoke. Same speeds, same exact specs. The only difference is it does not come with a silent crank on it, so it hits a different price point. A little more affordable for guys that may not want a silent crank with their bow. There's some guys that still like to, cock their bow, don't have a problem cocking a bow. I will mention that we're getting all this performance out of this bow with 185 pound limbs. So it's not like it's extremely hard to cock this bow with or without the silent crank. Obviously, I would prefer the crank, but for those guys that don't, this is going to meet their needs.
Awesome. Yeah, I again really excited about this lineup. Not to be outdone by the recurves, by the traditional side of things this year, because we've got some really cool stuff coming out on the traditional side of things.
Dylan, I think we have one more thing worth talking about on crossbows is we've also came out with a cranking device that would work on our current crossbows, correct, Chris?
Correct. It's called the DTAC cocking crank, and it is not a silent crank. However, it will work with our Intense. In fact, we feature it on the Intense CD as one of our lineup bows as a different price point, but it's also sold separately, and it will fit on our Intense model bows as well as our Constrictor model bows and a lot of our other bows that we've sold in the past that have the AR style stocks. So it gives a guy the feature of being able to use a crank that maybe wants to go to a crank and gives him all the advantages of a crank. The only other thing is it does not have the same feature as a silent crank where you can decock the crossbow. So you'll need to shoot the crossbow to decock it.
But we're pretty excited about this crank. So this is something that
Yes.
the public has asked from Bear X for a little while now. We didn't just want to do it haphazardly. We wanted to make sure that it worked to our expectations. So that's why we're able to launch it this year. So we're pretty excited about it, and that it'll be able to fit like the Constrictors, the Intense, the Saga crossbows of just a couple years ago.
So that is a fantastic offering, and I apologize for scrolling over it. Again, like we mentioned, there's so many new products this year, and so many new details to talk about, that I simply missed it. And I am again, that's one thing that I'm excited about, because you can now have that feature without having to buy a whole new crossbow. So that's an awesome offering on the crossbow side of things.
Well, and we didn't want to take it easy on you this year. I mean, we offered there's a lot of new items. We were trying to trip you up on purpose.
Yeah, I can see that. When you guys were planning this release, you're like, how many times can we trip Dylan up with this? No, no. Again, a great product, a great offering because it's one of those things that almost makes your crossbow brand new. It gives your crossbow such a different feel, such a different use, but yet you only had to spend $100 rather than buy a whole new crossbow. So really a great product offering on the crossbow side of things. Now, not to be outdone by the traditional bows, because we're offering some fantastic things on the traditional side of things this year. I just want to start. Let's just start with the 50th anniversary takedown. Walk me through that, Ryan.
This is I can, but this is definitely more of Chris's baby, so I think he would get upset at me if I went through everything on this.
Okay.
No,
All right. Well then, Chris, my apologies.
I wouldn't get upset. I don't get upset. You know, the 50th anniversary, you know, we actually launched this bow in February, and you know, because of COVID and all the other things that happened, it took a great big foothold, and then obviously we just felt it didn't get all the love that it really needed. So we're going to keep it in the lineup going into next year. Some of the features of this, you know, the Bear takedown is iconic in itself. 50th anniversary speaks for itself. It's been around 50 years. And the first bows, the first takedowns that Fred brought out had what they call a heel horn style grip. It's a little longer grip. It kind of bumps up in the end. And we wanted to bring that feature out. We also wanted to put it in some new colors. And so we've got some new colors here where we've got the black stripe, black on black with black stripe, and then Babinga and Phenolic with the black stripe, obviously in the A and B handles. And of course, any of the other old limbs fit on it, but we did go in and make a change on the limbs to match this with the white and black tips. So it's the same exact limb design that we've always had. We just changed the tip colors to enhance that for the 50th anniversary model. But this is just something that people have just raved over since we've launched this in February because of the new look and the old style grip. That's something that they've really wanted to be brought back for years, and I think we hit this one out of the park with this bow.
Yeah, it shoots really, really good with the grip. And then, so I'm a sucker for the black on black look there. It looks just like a complete work of art. It looks really good.
Yeah, and we mentioned those new woods, or the new wood in our teaser episode. And you know, I mentioned that a lot of guys, especially traditional shooters, just have that love for craftsmanship and beautiful wood put into bows. And these, aesthetically and design wise, these are some of the most beautiful craftsmanship bows I've ever seen. Just absolutely gorgeous bows. Those are the kind of bows I just want to hang in my office and have for show, you know, and just let people see and just admire the craftsmanship and the work and the wood. So again, just really good offerings. Now, did you mention, if you did, I missed it. Did you mention the Fred Bear camo and the olive finish?
That would be on the mag riser. We haven't got there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're good on the takedown, do you want to move there?
This is probably one of the bigger deals of this year for us, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Yes, absolutely.
This gets asked for, it feels like every day from the general art Bear customer. So we're very, very excited about the mag riser.
So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, the mag riser was it was a big undertaking. You know, this was something that came out in '71, and believe it or not, there's no prints or anything to it. So we had to basically go back in and really spend a lot of engineering time putting this together. So we're really proud of how it turned out. We, you know, aesthetically did not make hardly any changes other than in the sight window, not having a sight attachment there. Other than that, the bow is almost identical in feature to the 71 mag handle. The other difference is it's obviously a cast aluminum riser machined. One, to make it affordable, two, to make, where we can get more precision with the machining and everything. The cool thing about this is we brought this out in the A handle this year. It's in 2 colors. It's in the Bear Camo and the moss green. And the unique thing about these mag handles, that those that have shot them in the past will know, with most of your traditional bows, you don't have really what is called a true center shot. And with a mag riser, you have a true center shot. And with this adjustable side plate, you can really tune that arrow. These risers tend to shoot so good for people. It's they're just a piece of accuracy, if you will, when it comes to a traditional bow. And again, like Ryan mentioned, they've been asked for over and over again to be brought out. And another, as we know, with the limb pocket design and everything that Fred did back in the day, he was way ahead of his time. Even those guys who currently own takedown bows and have takedown limbs, they can just buy the riser and their limbs fit right in there, or they can buy the whole gamut and buy the riser and the limbs at the same time. So I think this is going to be a great big hit with the traditional archers for one, but I think those that have dabbled, it's also a very affordable riser. So this may be something that gets them into the traditional side of archery with a little less out of their pocket.
That was exactly what I was going to say. I am one of those guys who have just started dabbling in traditional archery. And cost is what holds people back. They sink so much money into their compounds or their crossbows or their rifles or whatever it is they're shooting. And a lot of times that budget just isn't there to start and try something new. So that's a fantastic bow offering at a fantastic price where a lot of guys can swing that and start in traditional archery. So is there anything else we want to hit on traditional archery for this year?
Just real quick, you mentioned the new wood colors, and I was going to go over just a little bit with new wood colors. So in the Super Kodiak, the Super Grizzly, the Grizzly, and the Cheyenne, we've went to some new wood colors. Shadua with black stripe in the Super Grizzly and Super Kodiak, straight Shadua in the Grizzly, and Shadua with black maple in the Cheyenne. And these bows, as you mentioned, it just changed the way these bows look. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I think people are going to really gravitate towards these new colors on the recurves.
Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous, and like I said, just an absolute piece of art. So moving into accessories, let's start with Trophy Ridge. This is a huge year for Trophy Ridge. A lot of new things, a lot of things that haven't been done before. Trophy Ridge is coming out with releases this year. Now, are these replacing Fletcher?
Yes, they are. They're replacing Fletcher. Fletcher will no longer have releases. And we really think that, with Trophy Ridge, one, Trophy Ridge is known for being top shelf and has a very popular name in the industry. That's one reason we wanted to bring these releases out. Plus, with the new colors, the black and gold, Trophy Ridge black and gold, they just look extremely well. And a net new release in the Trophy Ridge lineup is the Arch X Youth. So what we've done is we've taken the Arch X head, we've put it on a Velcro closure wrist strap that's a little smaller in stature. It'll still fit an adult, but it'll shrink down to fit, the tiniest of wrists, and obviously has an infinite adjustment on the strap length. So, we think we're trying to get the younger kids introduced to a really good quality release in the Trophy Ridge lineup that they can grow up with, and then if they want to advance to one of our other top shelf releases, they can do so. So I think this is going to be a great big hit for Trophy Ridge and for those who are looking for a high quality release.
Now, if somebody is familiar with Fletcher, will these be made the same as Fletcher?
Yes, they will be very similar, with some slight improvements, but they have a lot of the same look, a lot of the same features. just some improved triggers, improved housings, and some improvements that are done to them to go along with the high quality of Trophy Ridge.
Yeah, I'm very excited. The release that gets me most fired up is the Precise Pro. I love a thumb trigger release, and I loved my Fletcher thumb trigger. So I'm excited to get my hands on a Precise Pro and work that and see how it works for me. Now arrows, we've already kind of covered arrows. That's something that's brand new for Trophy Ridge as well. And again, this is Trophy Ridge's next step into becoming your one-stop shop for any and all accessories you could ever dream of having. Are you guys making these arrows in-house?
Yeah, so they are our arrows, and what we wanted to be able to do with this is obviously if we're going to offer arrows on the Bear bows, we wanted you to be able to buy more arrows to go with it, right? So we all use arrows time to time, lose them, etc., right? So even us experienced archers, so you got to be able to replace them. So what we've done here is they're offered in 6-packs, and in the 2 spines that we offer in the kit, so a 340 spine and a 400 spine.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to use those arrows and try those out as well. We talked a lot about VMAX and Whisker Biscuits last episode, and kind of the comparison of those, the differences, why somebody would choose one over the other. No new rest this year for Trophy Ridge, am I correct?
Correct.
We do have a couple new sites, though.
We definitely do.
We have a couple new sites. So walk me through those new site offerings from Trophy Ridge.
So what we've done is we've decided to expand our sites and change a little bit of the coloring of them and a little bit of the functionality, so they look really, really sharp. I can tell you the packaging at retail on these look really sharp as well. So the Trilogy is a 3-pin movable sight, so the pins are 0.019. So just really depending on how you like to sight in, how you like to hunt. I really like a movable sight, so it's just your standard sliding sight, pretty light. Will work. We're pretty excited about that one. Usually, there's a lot more gold on this sight. Like what we're covering our extra fiber optics with is kind of like a gold yellow color, so looks really sharp.
Yeah, I've fallen in love with Trophy Ridge sites. I absolutely have fallen in love with Trophy Ridge sites. And I told you about the site I'm running in the last episode. So if you haven't heard about the kind of the site construction that I did, go listen to last week's episode. But here was my deal. I had shot all of the other top of the line bow sights, and there were things that I loved about each one of them, but there was also things I hated about each one of them. And then I got my hands on the React Trio. And what the React Trio seemed to do was take everything I liked about each of the other brands and put them in one site, and take away everything I didn't like about each of the other brands and take them away completely. So I really have just fallen in love with Trophy Ridge sights, especially the React technology. If you've never tried React technology, you are missing out. I promise you that. I don't care what sites you shoot. If you've never experienced the React technology, you're simply missing out. So again, I'm just really excited about everything new that Trophy Ridge has this year.
So with that, we do have one new React site. It's called the Retaliate. So it is a 5-pin React technology site. Kind of works like how our H5 works on how you're able to adjust it. It's the same type of React that we have in anything else. Very light bracketing system, ballistic copolymer, so gives you an extremely lightweight sight. Also, what we wanted to try to do is reduce vibration. That material is really, really good for that. So which is all components of the bow once they're on there, right? So gives you a really light react sight that we think will work really, really well on almost any setup.
Yeah, again, I've just fallen in love with Trophy Ridge sights and especially the React technology. So every time a new sight is released with React technology, I get a little excited. Same quivers, same stabilizers this year. Of course, the Hex Light is a fantastic quiver. The Hitman stabilizers are great. Let's talk about the no tie True Peep for a minute, and kind of how that works and what makes it so unique.
So we launched last year No Tie Two Peep. So of course it works just like a two peep would, except that there's no tie. All you have to do is crisscross the strings. So once you get it set to where you need it, you just crisscross the strings, no serving needed, and it's set, and you're good for probably as long as those strings last you. So it went over extremely well. So by popular demand, we were asked could we do one that's kind of like a True Peep setup, which means there's no tube involved, right? So what we did is we made this as our no tie aluminum True Peep. So it's available in 3/16 and 1/4 or a 1/4 inch, which is pretty popular for hunting. But it's all aluminum. You would install it just like our other no tie, so you just have to crisscross your strings, but there's no tube at all. So no tube, but you still get the and no serving. So we're very excited about this product. So it's again just trying to make every part of archery a little bit simpler if we can.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. I love the the tube peep, but I also hate the tube. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about it.
So we figured we would just try to make sure that we had an answer with whichever way you like, which are both right in our opinion.
Yes, absolutely. Now, nothing new from Sick. Now, of course, the SK2 is one of the top performing broadheads, in my opinion, ever. Voted best field and stream mechanical. Just an absolute great broadhead. Is there anything else in the new lineups that we need to cover?
I would say the click light is something that's pretty important to us for the Trophy Ridge sights. So it's instead of it being where you turn it on and off by twisting it, it's push button click light. So it eliminates a lot of any issues that you would have with batteries going dead and the light accidentally getting turned on and things of that nature. So that click light's a pretty neat feature for, to guys that don't have it. They're coming out on the new sites, but the guys that don't have that, they can go buy this new click light, install it, installs right into their old site, and they're ready to roll.
Awesome.
So I love that you brought it up. So it works with, it is so much better than what we used to do, or many that get shipped is, so it used to that you would just turn it. Well, this is a positive click. So you get 3 clicks and it just upgrades your intensity. It's also about half the size of many lights out there. So again, just trying to improve all our product lines, making them easier to use and then smaller and lighter if all possible.
Yeah, and again, something I scrolled over and missed, but now that I see it, gets me really excited because I've had problem with the twist lights before, offered from anybody because again you leave them on just a little bit and then you put them in your case and it's dead the next time you go to shoot. So a really good extra piece to have on your sights. Now, I do want to move into a new deal that Bear Archery is doing, and that is a free Onyx subscription. Tell me a little bit about that Onyx deal.
So we're pretty excited about this partnership. We're able to partner with Onyx Maps, and what we're doing on the redemption EKO bow and the legit bow is if you buy either one of those, you get a 3-month Onyx premium membership included with your purchase. And it's very easy. There's a card that comes with the bow that has a code that allows you to start your free membership with Onyx Maps. So again, that's on the legit bows and the Redemption EKO bow. So if you've ever used this service, it's really good. It's great for really if it's public land that you're hunting or private. The amount of detail that they're able to provide is just is well worth it. So we're very excited about that partnership, and anything we can do again to get people out hunting with our product and others, I mean, we're all for.
Yeah, and that brings me into mentioning our giveaway. We're currently doing a giveaway, so if you're not entered to win that giveaway, head over to Bear Archery's Facebook or Instagram to find information about that. There's also links to the giveaway on Bear Archery's YouTube on all the podcast videos. We're giving away a brand new 2021. We're giving away a brand new 2021 flagship, which will be the Redemption EKO, fully set up with Trophy Ridge accessories. A elite membership to Onyx with some Onyx swag, a Radial Nano from Scentlock, from Oz by Scentlock, a Alps EPS pack from Alps Outdoors, and a -33 Merino wool gift card. So a huge giveaway going on, and free to enter, no purchase necessary. So make sure and head over to Bear Archery's Facebook and Instagram to find details about that giveaway. You can also find links in the podcast descriptions. So again, just a huge giveaway, and I'm glad Onyx is a part of that because I'm a huge believer in Onyx. Moving on to a new segment, and a segment that I'm very excited about because I love quick and easy tips to remember for the rest of my life. Those tips that you pull from, when you're out on a hunt and you think, well, wait a second, I heard about this tip. Maybe I should give it a shot. So we're going to be giving you each episode. I'll have my guests give you a hunting 101 field note, something they've learned in the woods, just a quick, easy tip that you can put in your arsenal and always remember. So, gentlemen, what do you got for us for a field note that you've learned over the years?
Ryan, you can go ahead and start.
I don't know. I was trying to think. I actually have a lot. I don't know how helpful they are or aren't, but I'm going to stay with lights on your sight, just because we were just talking about the new Trophy Ridge click lights. So one tip that I would use, whether it's even on a crossbow that might have a sight that has illumination on it, and then or when you're bow hunting, is I do like anything that has positive clicks. That way you can count, because one thing I've learned is you go in early, like in a ground blind or a tree stand, and you turn that on, right? And then by the time you leave, it's as bright as it's going to be outside, and you don't notice it's on anymore. So I've got in the habit I count clicks, right? So if it's a 3-click or a 5-click item, I know when I leave, I have to click it so many times to turn it off. And that would be my little tip, because those little batteries can get expensive when you're running through them so quickly. So I always count the clicks so I'm sure that they're turned off.
Or if you don't have extra batteries with you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Chris?
Along the same lines, but it has nothing to do with light. But so many times people travel and hunt out of state, and even if you're not, anything that can go wrong on a really good hunt will go wrong. You can count on that, and I've learned it the hard way, and so I try to adapt to it and make sure I have something in place. And one of the tips I can give has to do with an arrow rest, and I do shoot a Whisker biscuit or a V biscuit. But what I'll do with my bows, especially when I'm getting ready to go out west on an elk hunt or a mule deer hunt, something that is going to, I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to, you don't always have to take a backup bow. It's good to do that, but taking a backup rest. So what I will do is I will tune my bow with the rest I'm going to tune it with. I will take that rest off, set up another rest identical to it, and put it on there and make sure it is tuned properly, make my marks, and then I have a rest ready to go. If I have a situation where I fall and break a rest, something strange happens like that, I just pull that rest off, put the other one on there, if I have to make a couple of little adjustments, I can, but I can take and shoot it into a dirt bank at 20 and 30 yards. 5 minutes, I'm ready to go back hunting again, and I have that in my pack, and it doesn't stop me from hunting. It doesn't keep me out of the woods for more than 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm ready to go again. So just kind of thinking ahead and having some ways to adapt to a bad situation such as that is always a good idea.
Yeah, and I always keep, again, along the same lines, I always keep a few inches of D-loop material with me, just in case my D-loop breaks. I can put a new D-loop on and keep rolling with it. So I always carry a couple inches of D-loop material with me as well. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, you absolutely crushed it with this 2021 giveaway, 2021 product launch. I am so excited about some of the new bows, so excited about some of the new stuff coming out from Trophy Ridge. And so from me, good job. I'm glad I get to talk to you guys and just tell you that you did an absolutely incredible job this year. So kick your feet up. Now you can take a break for a little bit.
Yeah.
Dylan, one other thing I guess I'd like to point out, because of course we love the technical stuff, the bows, the crossbows, but we also have a whole bunch of new designs coming out, like in our t-shirts and some decals and hoodies. And we also have some cornhole boards available this year with our Bear Shield logo and our traditional logo. So if you love Bear, we have some other merchandise items that we didn't in the past coming out this year as well.
Yeah, which I am. I'm one of those guys that I like to rep the products I like. So 9 times out of 10, if you see me, I'm gonna be wearing a Bear Archery shirt, hat, something. So I'm excited. I'm excited to take some Bear Archery cornhole with me to my next redneck gathering. So I'm excited, man. Again, just an absolutely great launch. Seems as though this year you guys haven't missed a thing. So again, just good job. Thank you guys so much for coming on and running over some of these details with me. Guys, thank you for listening. Go get entered to win our giveaway, and make sure and subscribe to the podcast, because that's one of the biggest ways to get entered for the giveaway. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great week, and make sure and check out Bear Archery's website. Make sure and check out Trophy Ridge's website and look at all these new products and all the specs, all the details about all these new products we covered. You guys have a great week.